Hello, 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 everybody. Happy good morning to everyone. 8:30 in the morning right now, and this is Kevin Chan, your host here. We are gonna talk a little bit about the Qimen Essential Database build up, and today we are gonna talk about the Tortoise deity, or do you name it as Tortoise? Actually, do you pronounce as Tortoise or Tortoise? Right, no, either way lah, right? So either way, this particular deity has always been associated for being on the dark side of stuff. So it has a lot of negative connotation, right? So no, it's mainly due to cultural interpretation, I would say, right? So now again, just repeat to you all, right? So the Chinese metaphysics, the entire system is built on neutrality, right? So everything that you see is actually neutral. It doesn't do good, it doesn't do bad, right? It's just that, you know, societal wise, we classify certain action as good, we satisfy certain action as bad, and because, you know, the tortoise seems like a lot of those application is on the more negative side. So we generally say that tortoise is a bit on the evil, but it's not exactly that way lah. All right, so no, hello Kiseng, how are you doing? Good morning to you, right? So no, today is a Tuesday, right? So today is a Tuesday, is the 4th of March today, right? So now before this, just tell us, yes, you know, I noticed that the Theodore is missing, right? So the video on the Theodore, I distinctly remember that I've done it, but I also cannot find the video. So we will basically be doing the Theodore, you know, maybe a bit later. Let me finish cover all the deities first, like then, you know, I will circle back and do the Theodore. Right, so come, let's go in and take a look at the tortoise deity itself. Right, so now as usual, and again, in touch with me, either you go for the Telegram, or you can go for Substack, or you can go for the community channel. Any of this channel you want to get in touch with me, you know, want to ask me anything, you know, feel free to do so. All right, so you know, so that you know, don't get too confused with the situation, right? So now this is a Qimen chart, right? So this is for those of you who are very newbie. So this is how Qimen chart look like, right? So this is produced using Typing Astro. So if you want to get a Qimen chart, right? So this is the first time you're doing Qimen, you know, not very familiar, right? So you can go to Typing Astro to basically get the Qimen chart done. This is how Qimen chart look like. So Qimen chart basically got 8 boxes, which signify the 8 different direction, right? So and then each of the box would have 4 physical component, right? So you know what are the component? Let's just take a look, right? So these are the 4 component that is always presented in itself. The first one is the door, right? So you know, we have done the door except fear door. Okay. Right, caveat, fear door went missing. Then we have the 9 stars, right? So and then the 10 deities. So the 10 deities, we have done 5 of them, which is considered a good guy. So now we are going into the more the Thanos gang, right? So other than the Avenger gang is the Thanos gang, right? So hello Shu, how are you going? Good morning to you. Right, then there is the 10 stem, right? So that's the 10 stem. So stem, they is separated into heaven and also earth stem, right? So we have actually done some of the stem reading last time, right? So but I will be redoing the entire thing, you know, as time goes by. Like, hello Pepui, how are you doing? Hopefully you guys are doing fine. Right, so come, let's go in and take a look at the tortoise. Right, so this is basically the poster child for the tortoise deity. Darth Vader is the poster child for tortoise deity, right? So no, is it something that is dangerous? No, actually it is not, right? So it's just that the functionality of the tortoise is more at the level of mental control, right? So it's at the level of mental control. So or commonly known by normal people is called manipulation. Right, so tortoise is very good at manipulating people's mental state. So that's why a lot of people say that tortoise is evil. But is it true it's evil? Right? No lah. Right? So we manipulate people ever since, you know, ages in time. Right? So again, right? So like for example, you know, the example I like to tell people, you know, the dark forest theory. Like, right, so dark forest theory is when somebody go out of the safety of the town, you know, so you just imagine long time ago, very long time ago, right? So somebody venture out, you know, into the forest and got attacked by creatures. let's say, you know, it was a panther or, you know, whatever it is, right? So at that point in time, the fella doesn't know how to describe whatever the creature is. There were no name for the creature, first time seeing the creature, but it's very ferocious. It come over, attack. The fella didn't die, escape, come back to town. So what happened when the fella come back to town? Explain to the town folk, you know, they're scary, you know, got monster, right? So, you know, then the town folk went and investigate a bit. Wow, really true, you know, some town folk couldn't come back, die. So everybody right now agreed that, you know, we shall erect a fence, right, at that particular area, and, you know, all of us right now would basically have a pact of agreeing not to venture into the dark forest so that we don't die. But after some time, right, after generation passing down, right, the true meaning of this particular dark forest will start to become wading. So the other generation, when you go, right, when one communicate with the other generation saying that, you know, you shall not go into the dark forest, right? So that particular process right now that we are doing is called influencing people. Because the next generation have never seen the monster in the dark forest, they don't know. They are just taking your word for it. This is what Tortoise does, right? Tortoise are very good at manipulating your mental image, right? So much like you know, Darth Vader and the Force, right? So yeah, very much like that particular skill set. So the energy signature itself of being able to tap into your mental thing is like a hacker. Right, so the Tortoise is basically like a brain hacker. It can tune into your brain frequency, and it can basically affect your brain frequency. Right, it's like much hacker going into your computer, affect your computer. Right, so that's what they do. Right, so in itself, it is just an ability to tune into the other party. So they got very good uncanny ability in terms of synchronizing themselves into the other party, and hence they know what to do, what to say, what impression to basically give you to guide you towards the direction that they intend to guide you to. Amazing, right? So, but of course, a lot of people misuse this particular ability, right? Misuse this particular ability for their own personal gain. And hence, after some time already, people associate this particular energy for being evil and manipulative. It is often very associated with the word fake. Right? So, you know, if you are doing a forecast, you know, and then, you know, you see the tortoise in the box and you are trying to buy something, it basically means it's a fake thing that you are buying. Right? Now, you see, the thing is fake. It doesn't mean that when you hold it, it will disappear. No, the thing is still physical, it's there. Okay, just say it's fake only. Hello Jennifer, hello GB, hello Eve, right? So that's basically the, you know, mini signature when it comes to Tortoise, right? So again, it is a lot about, you know, cultural influence. All right, so cultural influence said that this sort of skill set is often being misused by people, right? So, you know, it's often used for the wrong purpose, and hence because of this, the Tortoise has been labeled as a negative deities. But in actual sense, the Tortoise is not really negative. It is just an energy that is able to allow you to do a bit of a tapping. So for people who has Tortoise, let's say they're inside their Destiny Palace, right? So they are a bit more in tune with the people around them. Right, very good. So they have the natural ability to conceal themselves. Okay, natural ability to conceal themselves. So which also means that, you know, if they are being put in a situation, their survival quotient is much more higher, right? So they know what to do to survive. You know, they know what to do to blend into the wall, right? So, you know, to make themselves not being seen. Right, so these are, you know, very powerful people. You can call them the kingmaker, right? So kingmaker is basically people who working behind the scenes to promote another person to become the king, and the king will eventually become the puppet of these particular people. Right, so it's like, oh no, everybody got their own freedom. It's actually fake. Everybody got their own freedom. So, you know, if you been in the what we call political scene long enough, then you start to understand that, you know, there is actually no rivalry in politics. Right, so if you want to see, you know, if you really want to see what has happened in politics, you know, you need to go to golf club. At least in Malaysia, you go to golf club, you know, those exclusive enough when you sit in the the place whereby, you know, they have their food and everything, you will see that different political party people sitting there, chatting with other people. Outside, they're like, you know, fight with each other, don't agree, you know, but when inside this exclusive, you know, cigar club or whatever, they are just happy friends talking to each other. Right? Nothing one between them, you know. That is where, you know, they can conspire or whatever it is, you know, to go out and put up a good show for you all to see. Right? So for you all to have distraction. So these are all the activity that Tortoise is very capable of doing. Right? They have this uncanny capability. So Tortoise is a great actor. Right, so if you want to find a good actor, you know, it happened to be, you know, a Tortoise, right? If let's say that you're doing a forecast, you know, we're gonna forecast, you know, oh no, I want to hire some actor, I don't know whether this actor is good or not. And suddenly you see that the result box have a Tortoise in it. But this is magnificent actor. Right, whatever character you give to this particular person, the fella will be able to morph into the character. You'll be able to convincingly portray that particular character in terms of you. Right, also a liar. Tortoise don't need to lie. If you're talking about lying, snake would be doing a better job than Tortoise. Tortoise, in normal circumstances, doesn't need to lie. Because why? Tortoise understand what you want, they basically just tell you what you want to hear. They don't have to manipulate the situation. Right? Tortoise is like that. They already know what you want already, you know, they can sense what are the direction. They just gently shove you to that particular direction. Like for example, you know, if you take a look at Darth Vader, does Darth Vader need to lie to you? Have you ever seen Darth Vader tell you lie? No. Right, it doesn't need to. Okay, right, so no, hello Ninja Heart, you know, I'm a force of good, right? So yeah, Tortoise also can be used for force of good. It's really just where you shove, you know. Now we tell a lot of lie, you know, we tell a lot of stuff to our children. How many of the stuff that you tell your children is actually based on fact? Not many, one, right? You try to protect the children when you try to protect someone, right? So all those things that you tell them, half a truth, right? So that, you know, you can, it's like, you know, it's like we always tell people, if you don't study hard, right, you will not have a future. True one. By now you should know not exactly, man. Right? Now you're so, you know, things like for me, personally for me, right? My exam result is very good, man. It's 97 percentile, those type of exam result. Have I ever used all my, you know, university knowledge before? No, zero. I'm always tell people I'm a finance graduate, pretty good one some more, right? So, but then I've never used my financial skill set before. Never. I've never done a single day of finance job. So how we train ourselves to be a Tortoise? You know how are other people feeling? Yeah, lah. Right? Go and get in tune with other people's feeling, right? So you need to, you know, take a look at it and, you know, always learn how to make suggestion, right? So yeah, Tortoise, if you learn NLP, great. You know, you want to do, you know, just go and learn NLP. Learn anything that is which basically psychological base, right? So you have a distinct advantage over other people, right? You have a distinct advantage over other people, you know, right? So again, no, the word manipulative is easy for you to understand, but in actual sense, they are just tuning to you, right? So you see, it's not possible to manipulate you unless you already have that greed, unless you already have that fear, unless you already have that ego. You cannot manipulate someone that doesn't want something. You need to understand that the other person need to crave for something, then only it is open for manipulation. Right? You're not interested in things that you're not interested in, man. So like a grand example is that I cannot tempt you with any sort of food after you have your meal. After you have eaten already, so it doesn't matter what meal you have, right? Then I only come over and tell you that, you know, oh yo, there's this very, very nice whatever food it is, right? So I tell you, you wouldn't have any interest one, you know. But then when you are hungry, when you want to eat, I just have to, you know, suggest a little bit, you know, add a little bit here, say a little bit there, right? So then suddenly, you know, you unconsciously, you know, when people ask, you know, where you want to go and eat, you would exactly tell everybody that you want to eat that particular food. And those are what suggested by me, and then it was taught by you. Now, this is what Tortoise does. This is what Tortoise does. Tortoise can create the situation whereby you have the impression that you are the one calling the shots, but in actual sense, everything that you are thinking has already been programmed by a tortoise. So that's why it's like a hacker, hacking a system. The system thinks that it is still running on its own operating system, running on its own program, but in actual sense, somebody has already slotted in different command line inside that have changed your entire decision-making process. Yeah, right. So most parents are tortoise-ish, most parent, because why? You keep on programming the thing, right? So like for example, so if the parent is a doctor, what do you think the parent from long time ago will influence the children, that tell the children that you must be a doctor, must be a doctor, must be a doctor? If the parent is an accountant, keep on telling the children must be an accountant. What is that doing? That's basically applying tortoise, brainwash, right? The particular brainwash process, right? So if you have thinking, if you're taking a look at how people are being brainwashed, all those kind of things, those are tortoise activity, right? Can you brainwash somebody to be good? Yes, you can do that, right? Suitable for mental health profession then? In a way, yes lah. In a way, yes. Right? In a way, yes. Mental health profession is suitable. But here's the thing, right? Who the hell would want to be in a mental health position when your potential is actually much more higher in other positions that basically make money? Now you have to really ask yourself, the lure of making money versus any other thing else in the world. What is a stronger lure to you, right? So so true, right? Met a mom accountant over weekend. Her 2 sons also accounting graduate. The better conversation is to sit the son down and ask the son, if everything were to be given back to you, you were going back to the time whereby you need to make a decision on your career progression, would you still choose accountant? Now, I like to ask this question to people who usually play musical instrument. I ask that person, if all the musical instrument, all the money that you put in, blah blah blah, especially piano, I don't know why parents like to force their children to go for piano class, especially those parents where their piano skill set not very good one. It's like, I cannot do it, I must put all my hope and dream into my children. My children must be successful for what I have failed. Right? They are forced to play the piano. If you ask them, if it would given all back to you, right? All the piano courses, all the money given back to you. Hey, this is all the money inside your pocket right now at this current moment. Would you still choose to go and learn piano? 11 out of 10 said no. Right? But then after that, they will say that, I'm a bit appreciative that my mother or my father forced me to learn piano. At least, there are certain amount of quality of things that I have, but in actual sense, they don't want. Right? So Tortoise has that ability. Okay? Right? So pretty simple one. Actually, not very difficult. So Tortoise has influential quality. Right? So able to convince, right? So you see, convince up and down also is the same. Influence people up and down also is the same, right? So if you are talking to a person who, again, normally not willing to do something, they are able to some sort of like rewire the fella's thinking pattern so that the fella would say that, oh, this is okay. So that's why the bad part of it, a lot of people, although they can rewire, they rewire the other person to do the stupid stuff like, as in scamming, right? Scamming, make the fella do other things, right? Somehow you very rarely you find people who has this sort of skill set. They would use this sort of skill set for the positive manner. Don't know why. Okay, right? So very rarely you basically find, people who's like that one. People who are influential, usually in the end, they will influence people to do things for their own benefit, which is very normal. I just tell you first, it's just how human is. Right? It's our basic nature to preserve our own survival over the survival of others. It's our basic nature itself, is to protect ourselves. So once you know that you can influence somebody, usually you will try to influence the person towards your prescribed direction. Again, there's no right and no wrong. right? So like say some parents like their children to play piano because they didn't play piano. It's no right, no wrong. Not this. It's neutral. It's basically neutral. It's that particular hope, or during my time, right? During my time when I was growing up, having a university degree was the in thing. I was doing that particular period, right? Where most parents are the what we call the labor market parents, so they don't have high level of education, right? So those during my time, so every parents would wish that their family would have a child that is able to get a university degree. So that was during my time. Is it wrong to have this wish and 24/7 hounding on you saying that if you don't get a university degree, useless? Right? So born in the other 6 months doesn't have Tortoise in their chart, which equivalent deity to use. Tortoise is sharing with Hook. Right, Tortoise is it? No. Tortoise is sharing with Phoenix. Right, Tortoise and Phoenix is sharing. Hope and Tiger is sharing. So actually, Phoenix and Tortoise both have same ability. Okay, so Tortoise is the yin version of the ability, which is the quiet version, slow manipulation. The Phoenix is the noisy command. Right, Phoenix is the noisy command. Actually, Phoenix will achieve the same thing faster than Tortoise. Right, but Tortoise will survive longer than Phoenix. Right, so because Phoenix is make people know that what they want. Right, so later when we go through Phoenix, then we talk about it. Right, so but mean of all, the Tortoise has very strong influential skill. The skill to manipulate, change your brain thinking pattern into a form of agreement with you. You actually agree with what the Tortoise is. Good. If you are manipulated to do the right thing. Like for example, defending your city against a enemy that's coming, to sacrifice yourself to defend the city. It is still an influencing skill set to basically come and tell you that, hey, come over here, let's go to the battlefield, you might just die, right? So, but then, you get the honor of, what is that? That's manipulation, because if you don't go, right? So you see, if nobody were to agree to go to the battlefield, there would be no war. Very logical answer. If no one, right? So you see, those people, soldiers who go to battlefield, like right now, the Ukraine just suddenly become famous again after visiting the Oval Office. After Zelensky has a big, right, screaming fight with Donald Trump. Now, I just tell you, if the Russian and also the Ukrainian send no soldier over to the border to whack each other, would there be a war? No. Right? Somebody there is manipulating all these young, stupid fella and give them this particular impression that, you are defending the honor of the country. The other side, want to destroy your country. The other side will take things away. All these things are not true. Right? Nobody want to take anything away from you. Everybody want to be peace. Right? So if you study enough of Chinese metaphysics, everything is about achieving peace. Nobody want to win. Nobody want to fight. There's no such thing as money. What they want is that they want a place whereby, they can stay, got house to stay, got food to eat, healthy, die. That's what they want to do. That is prosperous. It's not the entire thing of attacking, getting land. All these things are not in the Chinese metaphysics, what we call dictionary. That is in human nature, conquer and kill. No, Chinese metaphysics, they just want you to, be reclusive, don't bother with other people. You live in a very natural manner to the nature, right? So you have enough food, enough clothing, healthy. That's it. Right? Not like right now, buy new car, buy new house, buy. Don't buy no good. Right, those are all influence, you see, right? So the entire marketing world is full of people who's influencing, right? So they're very good with deception. Right? Again, the word deception may be a negative connotation, but in actual sense is that the Tortoise know how to let you see things that you want to see. That's all. And everybody out there carry a mask. When you're out in public, you are basically wearing a mask. Nobody is truthful out in public. Okay, yeah, everybody out in public, right? Because why? The entire idea of socializing, right? So we are social animal. The entire idea of socializing is actually to extend our ability to survive. If every one of you would be to be truthful to yourself, and just go out there and bear it all to the, you would have been killed very, very early. Okay, yeah. Just very, very normal. Okay, right? So now they are able to alter meaning, right? So to stuff that has already been, they're very good with changing name. I don't know, nowadays changing names seems to be the in thing for everything that we do. You don't like the term, you change it to a different name, rebrand, right? So the nice way to call it is rebrand. Everything get rebranded nowadays. Right, so nobody want to say spade is spade, you know, nobody want those kind of things anymore. Everybody rebrand everything into whatever that they feel like it. Right, you don't like this, you know, change it to a different name, right? So no, it's like in the corporate world, you fire people, you know. Oh no, we are going through a restructuring exercise. Oh, this is right sizing for the company. Fire people lah, yo, you know. So it's like, oh no, this is a what we call a retrenchment exercise. Fire people lah. Why is it so difficult to tell that, you know, we are firing people at this current moment? Why do you need to change to a different name? Right, because the other side, you know, would like to be given a nicer term. Right, most people is like this, you know, the entire idea of being politically correct. Right, going out, you know, you have to say things in a way that is acceptable to the other party instead of just bluntly telling you the truth. Okay, right? So, you know, it's those type of, you know, things, you know. So it's like the word suicide has been replaced with the word unalive. I don't know why. Okay, the NLP learn can't help me in gauging what other people think. The NLP you learn can't help in gauging people what other people think. NLP does not really teach you how to judge what other people think. NLP, what they do is that they put everybody into a frame, right, which they namely call meta frame. And then what you do is that you understand how the meta frame works. Then there are certain technique that you can apply to the meta frame, and you know, do that, right? So like, for example, one of the technique that will work with a lot of people is called anchoring. Every time you want to do something, you anchor the fella to something. Those are technique, right? So no, but anyway, right? So doesn't matter, right? So it's not an NLP class. Right? So Tortoise has uncanny ability of changing meaning to stuff. Right? So, you know, you need somebody who will change meaning to stuff. Get a Tortoise. Okay, they're good at doing that, right? So then what else they're good, right? So yeah, you know, they got unusual sensing ability, right? So unusual sensing ability. So Tortoise is very much like indirect resource in puzzle, right? It's very, very much like indirect resource. Indirect resource is ultra flexible. If you have somebody who has very strong indirect resource, their ability to adapt to the environment, amazing. Right? Their ability to make themselves blend and disappear, amazing. That's indirect resource. Right? So, and then they are really, really quick at picking things up. Right? So I like Tortoise can Xerox a person's mindset. Xerox means copy a person's mindset. So he can really quickly understand the other party, understand the other person. And hence, once you understand the other person already, you know how the person think, you know how the person function. Isn't it much more easier to make the other person do things that, you know, you want? Yeah, no, it's like, sorry to say, it's really like training a dog. Right? The Pavlov, you know, Pavlov, you know, every time feed, ring, ring, ring. Every time feed the dog, ring, ring, ring. Every time feed the dog, ring, ring, ring. The next time you ring, 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 the dog will salivate. Tortoise has that ability to do this sort of stuff. You know, the fella talk to you, say, oh, you know, seems like you like this sort of things. So, you know, I start to talk. I start to act. I start to do things in a way that is in line with what you are perceiving as whatever that you want to perceive. Then I slowly slot information into you. and the grand result is that you really think that those things that come out of you was actually generated by you, but if in actual sense it was actually laid down by me, and you feel like you are very superior. So that's why they are very, very powerful, right? So again, it's a lot of time all this skill set is being used for selfish purpose, right? So to enrich themselves, to bolster their own ego, right? So cult leader, cult leader, right? So it's pretty good at doing this, especially those that is whoppering behind the scene, right? Dangerous or not? In a way, yes. In a way, yes. But if you're using all of this for the positive manner, I don't think there's anything wrong, right? So you use it to encourage people to do things that normally the fellow won't be able to achieve, all those kind of stuff that can be done. Understand people through mindset and easy to influence. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome skill set. I would say it's a pretty awesome skill set. It's just that the question right now is that once you have a taste of this skill set, would you be using it for the greater good, or will you be using it for your own good? I would guess that your own good comes first. Especially when you meet one or two fellow who is rather unappreciative. Rather unappreciative means that you assisted this particular person already, right? The person, not only that the other person did not thank you for the things that you have done to them, the fellow actually sometimes even blame you, all those kind of things. So once you go through this particular process, I tell you, it's very difficult to go back on. Well, once you help somebody and it was the feedback was a very unappreciated feedback, right? After that, you will tell that I'll not do anything for other people anymore. Do everything for myself, because why? I will be appreciated for myself, right? Yeah, earn money first, to me, it's nothing wrong, right? So to me, it's nothing wrong. A lot of people, like to talk about nobility of doing things for other people. Hey, hello, come on, please, if your family table still got no food, nobility your head, right? Animal in the zoo will come for their food when the feeding rings bell. Yep, correct. Right? So that's is conditioning, right? Can be good psychologists or not. More competent, I don't really say it's good or bad, right? They have a higher level of competency level, right? It's a much higher level of competency level than other people, right? So which means if you've got two psychologists, if one is a tortoise-based psychologist versus a non-tortoise-based psychologist, I think the tortoise-based psychologist would be able to find the correct conclusion faster, right? Now, whether good or bad really depend. Right, depend. Okay, right? So if you are manifesting, right, so the manifesting guide, if you're manifesting, right, so try to build influence and control, which is good, right? So assist me in terms of how to influence people and to get control of the situation of the people. Increase your ability to understand feeling, fear, greed, whatever drive the other person, right? So if you are doing manifestation, right, so these are what Tortoise is adapting for doing, right? So asking for access to people's mind. Now, what you do after you gain all of this, up to you. Again, the energy isn't necessarily good. It's not necessarily bad. Energy is just energy, right? A stone is just a stone. You use it to throw a dog or you use it to throw a human, it still functions as a stone. You choose where do you want to throw the stone, right? When we know how other people think, right, the difficulty is bridging stage, how to turn to our thinking. Yeah, in a way, right? So because when you know how other people think or how other people think already, right, I think the next thing is really actually what are the purposeful direction you want to do this. If you don't have any direction of doing things, you also won't bother to go and understand the other person, you see, right? So would you right now understand the people in Ukraine? You won't, because why? You don't want to get involved with them, right? You won't, oh, I want to understand the thinking of the Ukrainian people right now, right? Why does the Ukrainian people want to fight until no day no end, right? I'm pretty sure Russian don't want their piece of land, right? I'm pretty sure of that, you know. So Russia just want to be a big brother, right? Ukraine actually doesn't really need to do much, right? So, but whatever it is, lah, right? So the entire idea is that, you know, for you to even attempt to understand someone, right? So really, you walk the street, you see a lot of people passing by. Like, how many times when you see the person is like, you have the mind, your certain mind, right, would tell you that, you know, I want to understand this person. Never, you never have that thought. The only time whereby you have the thought of, I want to understand this person, is that I need this person to do something for moi. At this current, you know, the fella seems to have a lot of resistance, a lot of barrier wall. I would like to understand, you know, what is the resistance that this particular person have, so that I can address the resistance. Yeah, you always want to, you know, move the person to a certain direction. So you are manipulative, right? Can make good energy worker, right? Sound healer, Mat 1, right? So yeah, if you can be good energy healer, sound worker, but again, the question is, why do you want to heal the other party? You know, I want to make a better world. It's actually you would make a better world if you just don't get involved. Right, so if you move into higher level of Chinese metaphysics, whoever would basically practice this thing, right? The ultimate goal, right? So I don't know whether you guys have heard of it. It's called Wu Wei, right? Wu Wei mean that, you know, let things happen as it should happen. You will not get involved with the thing that is happening right now. There's a reason why things happen. You allow the thing to happen. That's Wu Wei. Right? So, you know, it's the entire idea of, you know, is don't get involved. So that's why, you know, we have an entire art which is called mountain art, which literally really mean going into the mountain and facing nature instead of another person. Right? You go mountain, you know, you plant your own vegetable, you do your own hunting, right? You become self-sufficient, you have a place to stay, right? So you cultivate to the nature, right? So you don't care about, you know, whatever that's happening on the outside, you know, you don't participate in war, you don't go and fight for things, you know, so you just become, you know, completely detached from the world and, you know, enjoy your life here in this. Right? If other people look down on me, right, I really angry. Why should I change it? Right, question to you, right? So question to you, why do you think other people look down on you? Right? Right, why do you think other people want to look down on you? You know, it's like sometimes you don't put yourself at the center of the universe, like, you know, it's like other people look down on me. It's like very important, man, you, huh? Right, really, you know, sometimes whatever feeling you have, right, you know, it's like, oh, the other people, every time you have any thought of other people, whatever, you need to turn back and ask yourself first, am I really that important? Right, just think, yeah, these are very extreme thinking. If you were to disappear tomorrow, how much impact will you bring to the world? None. Right, the scary part of no employment, right? I don't know whether you read before. The moment you die, it will probably take about 3 days before your human resource department will publish the replacement for your position. Yeah, you haven't even gone through your burial, they would have replaced your, you know, come up with the advertisement to replace your position. That is how important you are in employment. And there you are, you know, fighting day and night, you know, scheming here and there, right? So, you know, doing this and that, you know, all these kind of things just to protect your position. Worth it, okay, right? So the moment you KO, the moment they replace you. Right? So why are you doing so many things, you know, in terms of employment there, you know, just to hold the position? Ever ask yourself that question? So same thing, right? So same basic stuff is, you know, what are the things that you are thinking of, right? So this is how you did. What is this end of slide, right? This one need to make a bit of an adjustment. It is not jumping in the correct things, right? So wait, yeah, you know, it's a different menu system, right? So this is for your tortoise, right? So now again, depending on what you want to do, if let's say that the action that need to be done right now is basically you need to access and augment this particular person so that the fellow is in agreement to perform certain tasks for you, Tortoise is your go-through person, right? If it's available, if not, then Phoenix would be your go-through person. Right? Really, in terms of usage of the energy, is really as simple as I want to do this. This is the energy that allow me to do this. I shall go and identify where is this energy appearing. Then I would be harnessing this energy and use. It's like that only. Okay, don't make things complicated. No right, no wrong, no correct, no evil, no good. It's just task. This is required for the task. Go and find what is required. Execute the task. Done. Right? If you keep it this simple, very easy to achieve things that you need to achieve. Okay, right? Put everything else, aside first. Cool. Right, so guys, that's it. So we'll see tomorrow what topic we're gonna cover. Right, so I got a few things that I need to line up. Also certain things that need to be renewed and redo. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Right, so this morning, and see you guys when I see you all again.